to see you. Welcome. You're on mute there, Scott.
Hey Daniele, how you going?
Good, thank you. Lovely to see you today.
Hello, relative.
That's Kerry. Kerry's a little quiet at the moment. And Saba, good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And now unmute yourself for me, please, and make sure I'm pronouncing your name correctly because I hate it when I get people's names wrong. So there's only a couple of people in here, so it's hopefully not too intimidating. Hi, Kerry. Could you unmute Saba? Saba, and just tell me how to pronounce your name properly? She's looking for the unmute button. I'm really good at reading people's expressions on Zoom. Where's the unmute button?
Yeah, I was trying to like I can't unmute on my end, so I was like, what's happening? Hi, so my name is Saba. People pronounce it a little bit differently. Some people pronounce it Saba, Saba. Everything is fine. Let
Nice. Well, I just want to make sure I've got it pretty accurate, so I'll go with Saba.
Saba.
Lovely. Welcome. Where are you joining us from today?
Sydney.
Sydney. Fantastic. Nice and local. And Scott, where are you joining us from today? And then I'm going to ask Kerry. Don't forget to unmute,
Rainy,
Scott.
the rainy Sunshine Coast.
Rainy Sunshine Coast, very nice. And I think Kerry might have something to say about rain in Queensland compared to where she is. So, Kerry, you want to unmute and share where you are?
I'm in the UK.
In the
Um,
UK.
yes,
So you're
and it
chock
has.
full of rain there.
Well, my hair is not wet because of rain. It's wet because I just got out the shower.
Ah, gotcha. So
Um,
it must be about 9 o'clock there. Is that right, Kerry?
it's 9 a.m. Yes,
Okay, yeah. Geez,
yeah,
I'm getting good at UK time zones now.
but
Excellent.
the sun is shining
Is
today.
it? Oh,
Yeah.
good. Okay, nice. And Mike is here. Welcome, Mike. Good to see you. All right. Think we'll jump
Hey,
straight
sorry.
in. How are you? What time is it where you are, Mike?
10 o'clock for me here.
10 o'clock. Great. AM or PM?
AM, AM.
AM,
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah.
I've got one member who joins us. She's got a small toddler who doesn't sleep very much, and I think she joins us from Seattle, and it's like 3 a.m. for her. I'm like, "What are you doing, Scarlett?" She said, "My child won't sleep, so we're all learning." I say, "Okay." So all hours of the day and night. Well, welcome everybody. It's great to see you all here. We have a really good session tonight. It's one of my favorite public speaking skills, so I'm really looking forward to sharing this with you. And it is going to be something where you're going to want to take notes. So I'm going to give you a sec to just make, you're really only going to take 3 notes. You're going to write down 3 things. And I encourage you to write it down. The reason is when you use your hand to handwrite something out, it engages 256 more neural pathways in your brain than if you're typing, which just means you will remember it better. And this is something you guys are going to want to remember. So give me a thumbs up if you are ready to get started. Excellent. Okay, so let's jump straight in. All right. Have you ever been in a meeting where you were suddenly asked a question that you were not expecting to get? Or maybe you've been asked to share your opinion unexpectedly on the spot. Or even worse, you might have been asked to deliver a talk or an update on something with almost no notice. Maybe you've just finished giving a talk or a presentation or a workshop and somebody asks you a question that you're not sure how to answer. Those situations can leave you feeling completely unprepared. And I know how this feels because when this happens to me, within that kind of first 2 seconds, I can feel my brain starts to race and the words start falling out of my mouth without any control by me at all. And halfway through my sentence, I suddenly realize I don't actually know where this is going myself. And the worst part is you can hear yourself rambling, but she can't stop it. Has anybody else ever been in that situation? I know I have quite a lot. And in those moments, it's not just uncomfortable, it actually affects how people see us. It affects three things that are super important for people in business. The first one is your authority. The second one is your credibility. And the third one is your expertise. So if you can't handle that situation of having a question or a request or a requirement to do something without rambling, you can really undermine your professionalism and make people question whether or not they should work with you. The thing is, in business, that clarity is not an option. It's actually how people decide whether they're going to trust you or not. So today, I'm going to show you how to stop that ramble, that word vomit really fast. And it's not going to be by being a more confident speaker, and it's not going to be by being more prepared. None of those things are going to help in this situation. But what will help is a very simple structure that you can use in the moment, even when your brain is under pressure and you're feeling really stressed out. So you're ready to hear what this is? Give me a thumbs up if you are ready and we will jump in. Excellent. So when you get yourself into a situation when you feel really overwhelmed and you think the words are going to fall out of your mouth like word vomit, it's not because you don't know what you're talking about. In fact, in my experience, the people who know the most about their topic are the ones that ramble the worst. The problem is we don't have a way to neatly organise our thoughts when it really matters. So what actually causes rambling? I think this is really helpful to know if you're somebody who talks too much on a topic or doesn't feel like they're being heard because their points are kind of swallowed up or bogged down. This is helpful to understand. In my experience, three things cause people to ramble. First one is too many ideas floating around in our heads. The second one is no structure for the ideas. And the third one, and this is the biggie, fear of silence. How many times have we been in a public speaking situation where we've thought, oh, there's no noise, I better fill that noise? All the time, right? So silence can be a really big cause of creating that ramble effect. And I like to think of it like browser tabs on your internet search engine. So I've got one of those really big gaming monitors and it's sort of like about 1 meter long and about that high. And it's chock full of windows. I've got Chrome over here, I've got Safari over here, I've also got a laptop right in front of me. So I've got room for thousands of tabs and they're all open, all at the same time. Every now and again my computer goes, oh no, I've given up. Sometimes when we're talking and we're unexpecting or we're talking in a space where we have not been expecting to speak, it's like having 15 browser tabs open all at once in our brain. Somebody asks us a question and says, we want some information, and then we have to give the information required. So one of our browser tabs is saying, answer the question. And over here we've got another one saying, don't mess this up, you'll look like an idiot. And down here, we've got one that says, what do they want to hear? Am I saying what they really want? And over here, we've got another one going, don't let there be silence, must talk at all times. And all of these tabs are flashing neon lights in our brains at the same time. And then everything starts buffering. Now, here is the good news. Rambling is not a speaking problem. It's actually a thinking problem. And here's how to fix it. So if you've just come in, so Rebecca and Edgar, welcome. We're talking about how to fix the ramble, and you've come in right at the exact time that you need to be here because I'm going to share the technique that I have learnt from a couple of different people over the years of learning to be a professionally trained speaker. And what I've done is taken those concepts and I've created a framework that works for me. And this is what you want to write down. 1, 2, 3, ramble free. 1, 2, 3, ramble free. And next to the 1, you want to write one thing. And next to the 2, you want to write 2 types. And next to the 3, you're going to write 3 ways. So one thing, 2 types, 3 ways. I'll give you a sec to do that so you don't get overwhelmed. One thing, 2 types, 3 ways. Everybody got it? Awesome. All right. So when you get that unexpected moment when you have to respond or report and you weren't prepared, or you panic because you get anxious or stressed, that's when your brain loses direction, and you can think at that point, 1, 2, 3, ramble free. And how this works when you apply it is, what is one thing about that topic that you could share? Or what are 2 types or examples that I could use? Or what are 3 ways that this is important to the audience? So one thing, 2 types, 3 ways. Now you don't have to use all of them. You might get away with one thing. But if people ask you for more information, you could say, well, there are 2 types of situations that this has happened in. And then you might be able to stop there, but then you might end up having to give more information, in which case you can recruit the 3 ways. And I'm going to show you how this works in a minute. But for a pro tip on using this is the other thing I encourage you to write down. Always start with an anchor statement. So generally what happens is when people are put on the spot like that and they have to speak straight away, this is what happens. Okay. And that's your brain buffering, going, what am I going to say? What is it that I have to do? What comes next? Instead, use this anchor statement. And the anchor statement is, the main thing is. The main thing is, or the one thing is, but I find the main thing works better. So when people ask you a question or ask you to report on something, instead of you start with, well, the main thing is. And those first 4 words will anchor you into the moment and help you relax and settle in, and then you just tell them the one thing, and if necessary, the 2 types, and if necessary, the 3 ways. Let me give you a corporate example. Let's say you've rocked up to a board meeting or to a shareholders meeting or just some sort of corporate space, and you've been suddenly asked, can you give us an update on the latest production figures? And you're like, 1, 2, 3, ramble free. Well, the main thing is production targets are right where they should be for now. Great. What else? Well, we have had 2 challenges. That's number 2. We've had 2 challenges. Timelines have been impacted by the industrial action, which has meant some of the resources that we're expecting to get haven't been here on time. So those are the 2 challenges, timelines and resources. All right, so what's your plan going forward then? 3 ways, right? What we've done is adjusted the deadlines, reassigned the tasks, and added support. So one thing, 2 types, 3 ways. Now let's say you're in an interview. Let's say it's either an interview, let's say it's an interview for you and you're wanting to be hired by this person to go and work with them. So you're essentially trying to sell your service or your product. This happens in both job interviews and in selling interviews. Why should we hire your company to do this? The main thing is we deliver consistent proven results. Tell me more about how that happens. Well, we have two techniques that we use that work really effectively. Our strategies are clearly mapped out, and we have a really good execution process. Two things. That sounds pretty good. Can you tell me more? Of course. There are three ways that we do this. We plan very clearly with you in the beginning. We communicate proactively so you're never left in the dark about what's going on. And we have excellent follow through. Those are the three things. Now, it does not matter what the topic is. You can use this same structure for any situation, but I do not want you to take my word for this. I'm actually going to prove it to you right now. So who would like to volunteer to tell me about a hobby? Let me actually ask you a better question. Who has a hobby that they like? Because you're all suddenly with no hobbies. You're all hobbyless people with no interests in the world. Mike, Mike, you unmuted before I've democratically volunteered you.
I'm just going to say the easiest thing I could think of, which is like art, like drawing.
Excellent. All right, let's try this then. Tell me, get back your muting there, Mike. We haven't finished
I
yet. That
thought
was
I got
just the
away with
beginning.
it.
All right, so we're going to do the one thing, two types, three ways. All right, so let's just say I've said to you, tell me about art for 30 seconds and use that framework. One thing, two types, three ways. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right, so Mike, tell me about art.
So the main thing about art is it helps you go into a flow state, which is very powerful for a lot of people, especially ADHDers, because what they love is the novelty and being in that moment of something, hyper focus on that thing. So that's the two ways is that there's the hyper focus on the thing that they love doing and being immersed in that experience of it. And the three ways it impacts them is obviously it gives them more energy and it helps them to feel happy in themselves and feel accomplished to once they've finished the work that they've done.
Brilliant. 35 seconds on the
That
ball.
was scary, actually. I'm so, oh my God, that was scary.
I know. It's the first time you've been here talking too, so you did great. So how does it feel with that structure?
I'm surprised I did that in less than a minute, to be honest.
Yeah.
That was the thing that stood out for me is that it felt pretty short. We
Yeah.
said 30, yeah, 35 seconds, but it felt longer, obviously. But yeah, the fact that it was
Mhm.
short.
And you use the anchor statement beautifully. The main thing about art is, did everybody see that? You use the anchor
Yeah,
statement
I
really
think it
nicely.
helped.
Yeah.
I think that really helped, and I didn't realize how much it helped, but it did. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. One thing, two ways, or two types, three ways. And you can substitute other words to go after the one, two, three. I encourage you to start with the main thing is because that's your anchor, especially if you're thrown on the spot like that. But you can say two examples, or you could say three techniques. It doesn't really matter. You're just starting with a framework, one, two, three. Beautiful. Well done. All right. I'm going to choose somebody that I know has come into my training wanting to be more succinct and stop rambling. Scott's just unmuting before I even go any further because he knows it's him.
Oh, shit. All right.
All right. So, Scott, I want you to tell me about. Let me give you a. We'll give this a shot and see how it goes. Tell me about what it is that. Tell me about your book, okay, using the main thing or the one, two, three format. So tell me about your book because I know you've just written a book. Tell me about it.
One thing I'd like to say about my book is that it's more so about you. Once you read it and once you've read it, you should have a better idea of what you can do in your life. And the types of things that are in my book are learnt processes, emotional literacy, and consistent persistence. It's a very strong theme in my book, Never Ever Give Up. And the ways that you can do this, the three ways that you can do this is that you can understand yourself better would be one of the first processes that I would recommend. And by doing that, the second part is to get in touch with your own emotions. And the third part is to recognize when you're actually in patterns. So recognize the patterns around you. That's it.
Nice.
Thank you for listening.
1 minute and 16 seconds, Scott. Good
Yep, I can
job.
ramble.
You can, and that's much tidier, much nicer. How did it feel?
Good, good. I like getting thrown in the deep end. I do enjoy the
Lucky.
challenge of it. Not the first
Awesome.
person, Mike, but yeah, the second I don't mind.
Yeah. Mike did great, especially for his first
Did
session.
very well.
Excellent. Edgar, are you available to practice this exercise? I think this would be really good for you. I'm not sure if you're in a space where you can do it or not. If you are, just unmute. You don't need to go on camera. We can just do it without camera. And oh, you are fantastic. Lovely to have you here tonight. Thanks, or today for you. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell us about your travel industry or your travel company using the one main thing, two ways or two types and three ways formula. How does that sound?
Well, the main thing about my travel company is that I want people to feel taken care of. There are two types of people that would really benefit from this. There are those that are really time short and don't have time to put the effort and the energy required to make their own holiday. And the other types of people are those that are not really very well literate where it comes to the online space and would really value someone being in their area. I would say the three things that this would benefit them is that it gives them the peace of mind that are being taken care of. They know that they have someone in their corner if there is a hiccup, and ultimately they know that going forward they always have someone they can grab the phone and speak to when they want their next break.
Very nice, Edgar. 1 minute and 15 seconds. How did that feel?
Okay. Yeah. Would you prefer to be a bit more eloquent?
I think actually I've heard you speak before, and that was tidy. Did everybody else feel that was really tidy? Yeah, one thing about travel, two things, the two types of people that you want to work with. I thought that was really neatly packaged for something impromptu, which is great.
Yeah.
So, and remember, guys, you don't need to use all three. You could get away with one. If you can get away with one, just get away with the one thing. And the two types of people was very good. I agree, Mike. Great work. Awesome. So I'm going to make it easy. Let's see. I'm going to get you to pop it in the chat. I think Saba and Kerry and Rebecca, if you guys pop in the chat for me. Are you all familiar with watermelon? Everybody familiar with watermelon? Okay. One main thing about watermelon and two types and three ways. All right. And even if you don't say it out loud, you get the opportunity to do the exercise. So one main thing, two types, or two ways and three types. Doesn't really matter what it is. All right. You're going to pop that in the chat. And I want to give you an example of why this works. The reason that these people very bravely got up and were able to do this today is because they had structure. And it's a little bit like organizing your closet. Sometimes when we're cleaning out a closet, we'll throw everything on the floor and then there's this huge mess of clothes. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. But before you organize the clothes, they're all in this big pile on the floor. And then after it's organized, everything's hung up on hangers and it's really, really easy to choose an outfit. The 1, 2, 3 Ramble Free framework helps you to put your thoughts neatly onto those hangers so that you can go to the wardrobe and choose out the ones you want instead of standing there looking at all the clothes on the floor and going, oh my God, do I need this one or that one or where's the one I want? You can select it because it's neatly organized. So the main thing is, see what I did there? The main thing is you don't need more confidence. You just need more structure. Compelling speakers, not comfortable, but compelling speakers, they don't think more. They actually just organize things better. So the next time someone puts you on the spot, use that 1, 2, 3 Ramble Free framework and you will never ramble again. So let's have a look and see what we wrote here. Saba says, the main thing about watermelon is it's so refreshing on a hot day. And Kerry says, one main thing about watermelon is it's hydrating. 2 types of slices or chunks and 3 ways to eat it are at home, on holiday, or for a special occasion. Great work. See, it's easier to do it on something simple like that. Scott had a pretty tough job doing his with his actual business, but he's going to be on stage a lot, so we're going to make sure we extend him as much as possible. And a few ways that you can, cutting it into small pieces or blending it into a smoothie. Nice work. So you guys now have an action to take, which is to apply that 1, 2, 3 Ramble Free framework as much as you can, because gathering information up and just having it there, it just drips out of your brain. It basically falls out of your ears in little rivulets down your chin and onto the floor. Unless you use it, your brain bleeds. So Mike's going to apply this to content on Instagram. Fantastic. And you'll be so much clearer because you're just going 1, 2, 3. The main thing, 2 types, 3 ways, or 2 ways, 3 types, doesn't really matter. Anchor yourself in with the main thing and then add 2 and then add 3 if necessary, and it won't always be necessary. All right, let's do a quick whiz round. I'd love you to tell me what you found most valuable or your key takeaway today. So let's start with Sabah, your first session with us. What did you find most valuable? And then we'll go to Kerry. So tell me what you found most valuable.
Definitely the framework, but what I found the most helpful, which is going to be most helpful for me, is being able to practice it with other people on the call, like just, being on the spot and actually practicing it, because otherwise it's just going to be in my head and I'll never actually practice it. So yeah, I think that was the most
Awesome.
helpful, valuable bit.
We usually don't throw you in on the first call, but second one, look out, all bets are off. Awesome. Thank you, Kerry, and then Mike. So Kerry, what did you find most valuable today?
The whole thing was very useful, but the main thing I found helpful was the anchor statement, the main thing.
Great. Good pickup, Kerry. Well done. Mike and then Edgar. What did you find most valuable or your biggest takeaway today, Mike?
The main thing I took away is structure. And the 2 ways that I see structure just working really well is obviously with how you shared about the ways to describe 2 things. And I see that as being analogies that I could use. And
Yes.
that really was helpful for me for content creation because I like to ramble in my content creation. Is 3 ways that I go about content creation is the yap, right? I do the yap videos. And then there's the ones that are obviously coming off the top of the dome where I'm looking into the thin air, right, while I'm speaking about it. So there's many ways that I approach delivering content or just delivering in general. And this just helps me to just be more grounded in getting straight to the point. So that was the three things that I felt that made a massive difference is that I can get straight to the point now, shorter, and give them value.
Love that, Mike. Thank you. And Edgar, what did you think was your biggest takeaway from our session today? And then Scott.
Yeah, so the main thing for me was definitely the framework. Because even if you feel like you're rambling, you have a structure and it comes out cleanly.
Nice work, Edgar. And if you do get lost, you just go back to it. Just start again. The main thing is, so even if you get lost and you're like, oh crap, I've rambled, you just come back. The main thing is, awesome. I'm not sure who iPhone CM is. If you could stick a name in the chat, I'd appreciate that. And anything that you found really valuable. Thank you for being here. Scott, what did you find was your biggest takeaway today?
The main thing is I know what I do know, but the structure is going to make it 100% better.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. And Claudia, what did you find most valuable?
Oh, everything. So it's a good structure. I need to practice. I think once you
Excellent.
practice a few times, it will be more automatic.
Fantastic. Well done,
Sorry.
everyone. That's okay. It's all good. If I can ask you guys now to make a commitment to yourself to implement this, because information without implementation is just procrastination. So the way that I have found works really well for this is to go into the Vocal Power community and write a post saying the most valuable thing I learnt from the call today was whatever it was, and we've just covered that, so it won't be a surprise to you. And then tell me how you're going to implement that. Because that public accountability will mean that you are far more likely to implement the information. Everybody
Which
good with that?
area, Daniele? Which area, sorry?
Just as a general post in the community.
Thank
Okay, you
you.
make your own post, we'll push you up the leaderboard, but it's really about making a commitment to yourself as to what you're going to do, because this whole program is not about collecting information like little nuggets and calling them my precious. It's about actually implementing the information. So I will see you all hopefully same time next week, and we will continue to practice these skills in this micro learning sessions. And I hope that wherever you are in the world, you have a good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. Bye for now.